What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the complicated issues surrounding the colored communities. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, today's topic is going to be a bit tricky because living in a colored community and being colored is not easy, you know? I mean, from what I from what I gathered, speaking to other race groups, right? The complications in other race groups are not as dynamic, as complicated, diverse as in the colored community. I mean, let's just look at, for example, in the Afrikaans community. What major differences are there in the Afrikaans community other than you like going outside of our race group or what else? That's about it. That's basically it. It's just people just deviating from the Africana traditions, norms, and cultures. That's maybe the biggest rift in the Africana community. People, there's two types of Afrikaners, right? Those that want unity and those that don't. That's those that want unity with other race groups, those that want. That's about the biggest, I think, right? According to what I've seen online and everywhere I look, that's just the biggest thing. There are those that want the old regime and those that want the new dispensation. In the Zulu community, or in most black communities anyway, biggest thing, biggest rift is politics. It's really politics. You support the ANC, you don't support the ANC. That's about the biggest rift in the black communities. It's not religious, it's mainly politics that divides black communities, you know? Tribalism, of course, but I'm talking specifically in like the Zulu culture, in the Zulu nation, in the Pedi nation, the Xhosa nation, in the Tswana, whatever, specific to that, you know what I mean? The only problem they have in the biggest rivalries they have, the biggest gripes they have, is politics. In the Indian community, I don't know much about the Indian community. I need to do more research on Indian people and I need to do a deep dive in Indian philosophy and stuff. I really need to understand. Actually, I should do a video. I should make a video about Durban Indians and where they got their accents from. I think that would be an interesting video because the Durban Indians are the only Indians that I can think of that don't sound Indian, and they also don't sound South African, whatever the official South African accent is. Because when you listen to an Afrikaner speaker, you can actually hear that they're from South Africa and not from Dutch land. When you hear a colored person speak from South Africa, you can hear the South African colored accent when they speak. When you hear Durban colored speak, dude, you don't even know where the accent is exactly from because Durban Indians have their own accent. I really don't know. It's a mixture of. It's. It sounds colored. It's not really. It sounds. I don't really know. But anyway, I don't know what the divisions are in the Indian community. I would think maybe it's religious. I would think it's religious. Just Muslims versus the Hindus. That's what I would think. Right? I'm not sure about that. That's what I think. Then we come to the colored community. Oh my God. Where do we begin? The colored community. Let's start from the beginning of time. The colored community, it all starts when a child is born. The first thing we look for is the hair type. How good is the hair quality? Does that child's hair quality represent the family? The hair is the most important. If you have a child that comes up with a nice straight hair, oh my goodness, that child is a blessing. All children are blessings. But the child with the straight hair, that child gets the attention like no one else's attention. Because hair is the crowning glory, right? Next comes the complexion, right? The lighter the child, ooh, that's just paradise on earth for whoever family that light skinned child with the straight hair. If you got blue or green eyes, oh man, that's the darling of the family, right? That's where it all starts. Hair, complexion, eyes are cherry on top, but hair and complexion in that order, right? Then that that divide, just that small interaction with the baby. So if you have two babies, right? One is, but let's say they're both fair skin, or one got straight hair, one got curly hair, or like we call it in Afrikaans, called cruise hair, stavar, corn curls, what do we call it again? Steel wool, Munstara. Yeah, there's a lot of names for hair in the colored community. But yeah, the child with the straight hair gets the attention. The child with the straight hair gets to be the favorite. The child with the straight hair gets all that, right? Then it comes to complexion. The lighter skinned children get more attention and more favoritism against the darker skinned children, right? Starts there. Okay, then we grow up. We become adults, young adults, and now some colors decide, well, we're going to speak English, and then the others decide, well, we're going to speak Afrikaans. Already there's a divide there. Language barrier. No, it's not a barrier, but a language crisis, a language issue, a language war. English speaking colors are now being hated on by Afrikaans speaking colors because Afrikaans speaking colors feel like the English speaking colors are trying to be white and they sell out. Okay. And then the English speaking colors look at the Afrikaans speaking colors like they are backward and they don't want to upgrade and they don't want to move with the times because English is a global language and you can't just stick to Afrikaans because Afrikaans is only unique to South Africa. And well, Afrikaans is not exactly spoken in Holland, although there are many words that are similar or sounding similar. But for some reason, I have to say, I must Google. I watched a documentary where a documentary in Suriname. It was about Suriname. I think it was mining in Suriname or something. The people in Suriname, I think they were conquered by the Dutch. For some reason, the Suriname people, they speak more Afrikaans sounding language than what the Dutch people speak. I mean, you can obviously hear that the Suriname language came out of Dutch, but when they speak it, it's more aligned to Afrikaans than what Dutch is. Okay, maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I just never heard. Maybe I just wanted to hear what I wanted to hear. But I'm 100% sure that that man from Suriname, when he was speaking in his local dialect, he was speaking quote unquote Afrikaans, even though it's not called Afrikaans there. But I promise you, I almost basically heard word for word what he was saying, and that to me sounded very much Afrikaans. Okay, it's Dutch. Let's just say it's Dutch. Okay, it's Dutch. But that Dutch did not sound like the Holland Dutch because that sounded like the South African version of Dutch. Anyway, I digress. So, language, like I said, the English speaking colors look down upon the Afrikaans speaking colors, and then the Afrikaans speaking colors look at the English speaking colors as sellouts. Cool. Then we go up another divide religion. We have Christian colors, we have Muslim colors. Muslim colors Some Muslim Khalids don't even want to be called Khalid because they tell you straight, I'm Muslim. It's already a religion, a race, and everything on its own. Do you get what I'm saying? Then we move on to culture. We get colors that embrace the European culture. We get colors that embrace the Muslim culture. We get colors that embrace the African culture. Culture. Right. Then we move on to embracing one's heritage. Most colors embrace their white side of the heritage, white side of the family. Oh, my grandfather from wherever. Few colors actually acknowledge their black heritage, you know? So I think their number is growing now as people are now becoming more mainstream, as more and more colored women marry black men, or not many colored men marry black women, but many black men seem to be marrying colored women. And I think it's all going according to uh, economic survival mode now, because a lot of a lot of colored women are disillusioned by colored men not wanting to work, wanting to hustle, wanting to, because there's this weird culture in colored townships where the men, not all men, but some men actually just don't want to work. And for a long time, there's a good number of households where the woman works and the husband doesn't. So when the younger generation see that, then they're like, no, I don't want to be looking after a man. I don't want to pay for a man. I want a man. So then they realize that economic opportunities are going more towards black men than they are going to colored men. So therefore they jump ship and they date outside their race. Now, here's my thing. All this mixing between the cultures is a very good thing, right? Some will see it as a bad thing, some will see it as a good thing. So the colored women that actually marry these colored men, right? These are black men, right? They give birth to these children, right? And then these children, depending on how they come out, like your Trevor Noahs, your uh, Joanne Reneker, who else? I would like to say Paul Tusi also, but you can obviously see Paul Tusi as colored, so I don't know which of her sides is colored. But anyway, those people who have immediate black parents, they embrace the black side of the family because it's in their faces, it's in everybody's faces. So you cannot deny. They say, "Oh, my grandmother from Germany, my brother from Holland, or my brother from Russia." No, it's like your father from Soweto, your father from Kailicha, your father from Dansani, wherever the father comes from, right? And so that divide itself already chooses those. They tell you that I don't have any black in it because they the last time they heard of a black relative was like the grandfather's father was black. That's the last time they ever heard of black. Since then, there's only just been colored since then, right? So there's that problem again, right? Then it's a lot. Yeah, it's a mission in there, right? Then comes the those that are for culture and out of culture, right? Those that marry, those that marry, or those that date white are more accepted in the colored community. If you date a white girl or a white guy, oh man, you are the epitome of what dating is. Or you marry, oh, you're the epitome of what wedding should be. If you date black, oh man, it's like, ah, really, why? How? There's so many, but really, like, for you as a colored person, as a colored girl, to date a black guy, that black guy has got to be super successful. There's no use you dating a black guy and he's just rock bottom like the colored guy that you were dating, and that's the way they see it. And to some extent, I'll really, I mean, times are hard, times are tough, so I wouldn't trade a bum for a bum. I mean, I would definitely go a level up, right? You know what I mean? Oh, two levels up. So if the BEE thing is what's going to propel me from Mitchell's Plain to Bishop's Court, by all means, I'm propelling to Bishop's Court with the Motsepes and the Komalos and the whoever else and the Ramaphosas, you know what I mean? Then we can have a documentary series. I mean, TV alone shows you. If you look at these housewives of wherever and reality shows, you'll see that most of the colored women on those shows are actually married or dating black men, and those black men are not your average salesman, office worker. No, those black men are actually influential people in society. So, that's another thing. Another thing that divides people in the colored community, people, is this whole gang issue, this whole crime issue. It's sad that, some family members within the colored communities have no choice, see no way out, so they embrace crime, right? And it divides the families so much so that it just takes away from what a whole family dynamic was meant to be because of life choices, right? Drugs, well, I'm not going to talk about drugs because drugs affects every race and every community. I mean, that's just a given, right? But in the colored community, it's weird that you can get two brothers, two cousins, same family member, same surname, same everything, and they are in opposing gangs, and they can't be seen or they can't be in the same place at the same time because they would kill each other. That's just one dynamic I don't understand. I mean, this is your brother, but now you signed an allegiance to a gang. That means when you see your brother on sight, you have to kill, you have to murder him. That's another thing. Another thing that divides the colored community is the complexion issue. Yo, people, I even have this in my own family where the light skinned side of the family or the white side of the family do not want to mix with the dark skin or the black side of the family, right? The rich ones don't want to mix with the poor ones. You know what I mean? They look down on them. It's just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. The complexities and the complications and the variety and just the whole mix of just being colored and just it's so much, guys. It's dude. There's even groups of colors that don't want to mix with colors who do not have good hair. There's even groups of colors that don't mix with other colors who just not they just don't look colored. They just are not colored because they just not uh dude, there's this language barrier as well. There's those colors who embrace Zulu, Xhosa, Tswana, whatever. And then there's other colors just like, nah, we're just speaking English and Afrikaans and we'll go and learn French or Spanish. It's just that. It's just that in the colored community. So the issues in the colored community are so varied, guys. It's just ridiculous, man. Some of the things are so frivolous because these things don't put money in your pocket. They don't put food on the table. But these are the things that we've grown up with. These are the things that we embrace. These are the things that we normalize. These are the things that just makes us divided as a community. As coloreds, we're supposed to have like one political affiliation, but even that is a problem. I mean, one thing as colored people, we all agree that, guys, there's no colored voice when it comes to the political arena. We'll agree on that. Now let's go and let's vote as colored people. Now we vote in ANC because the ANC has done a lot for us. They gave us RGB houses and the ANC did that. Now we're going for the DA because the DA does a lot for us. I mean, the DA looks clean. It's that, it's that, it's that. When you think to yourself, when last did those parties do anything for you? 30 years ago? 25 years ago? Because the last time I checked, none of those parties that you guys are vying for actually did anything for you guys of late. You know what I'm saying? So, colored people, to find the unity in the colored community, it's going to take rocket science. Then we get that special breed of coloreds that are physically colored but are culturally not. And they don't know where to fit in because They embrace the Zulu. They speak Zulu like a Zulu. They do everything like a Zulu because the father Zulu or the mother Zulu. And but they don't quite fit in with the Zulu people because they don't look it. And then they don't quite fit in with the colored people because they don't have that colored culture. You understand what I'm saying? They look colored, but their actions and their belief system is not colored. So they don't fit in there. So do you see why it's so complicated to be a colored person within a colored community dealing with colored issues? It's not as simple as people just think like, oh, you colored, so hey, people all think the same. No, not all coloreds smoke. Not all coloreds drink. Not all coloreds are violent. Not all coloreds are gangsters. But because you're colored, you're all thrown into that one pot. And that is sad, eh? Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know family, right? Holla.